everybody, I'm Dr. Karmic, aka Butterfly Karen. Welcome. Welcome to this evening's interactive intuitive intelligence remote viewing session. Oh, what an interesting week. So, before I get started, let me just quickly clock in. It's going to be a slightly late evening session again, that's fine. I've had sort of downloads coming in all day, so I've just got my feet in my grounding rock and I'm ready to like tap out and tap in. so it is just right. So it's Friday, July the 25th, 2025, and it's 8:48 p.m. Ooh la la. So, oh good Lord, I don't know where this month's gone. Okay, 8:48 p.m. Interesting. Right. There is a lot going on. This is going to be a new army update too, SITREP, situation update on their progress. When you're connected to, I mean, again, to understand the new army, you can, let me just grab it. So, to understand, again, if you want to catch up Palantir's Planet, this is the report books. So it's part of IIDR72, but it's all to do with, it explains the new army, where we're at, why we're here right now, and what's going on, who the higher order is, all sorts of good stuff. So the Palantir Strand, Planet Palantis. There's a lot more coming through in regards to the Caribbean Airways frequency. So I tap into that and I connect to that when I'm connecting to the 14th dimension. So, God, it's intense. There's a lot going on, which is where so you can reach. I don't know the whole. I don't know the coordinates or how to get there as a scientist or sorry, I've got so much going on right now. When it comes to sort of space projects, that's not what I do. I go straight to the dimensions. So a lot of planets, again, there's no time and space. It's irrelevant. Relevant for certain things, but irrelevant. Again, it's all just mind travel. So the 14th dimension, you can once you connect to connect yourself through the Caribbean Airways frequency, mind travel, you can make your intention to connect to Palantir's Planet. I still feel like there's again, when you want to connect to that Caribbean Airways frequency, because it takes you to mind travel to Palantir's Planet, you're talking about the highest order. You're talking about the divine. I mean, it's very hard to explain, but your intentions will need to be pure, and your mind needs to have the correct intentions to get into and get through that Caribbean Airways frequency. If you're going through it to spy, if you're going to connect to it to spy and do all that kind of stuff, and again, it's all to do with your heart space. If you don't have a pure heart, you're not getting in. Right? So that's what it's like. Hey, boo boo. And the higher dimensional beings are a hell of a lot more intelligent than us, obviously. So, but I feel like for a while, obviously, it was blocked, but now it's it's active again. So, but I feel like there's oh, hello there. Oh, we got a kitty. You're just all over the place today. So, is such a little distractor. Boo boo. So I feel like the new army now, they are Palantir warriors. They are heavily monitoring that airways frequency. So, because there is a major interdimensional war going on, as we know. Now tapped in, because I'm always sort of, I'm tapping into that sort of like divine intelligence, which is through the higher order. Oh, okay, there is. Yeah, I'm just tapped in, but I'll go for my dimensional door soon. God, I've just got so much coming in. So once I connect to the divine intelligence again, I'm going to be connecting to the elite energies, the dark and the light, the good, the bad. You would need to connect. You would need to be able to connect to the divine free. You'd have to have access to the divine intelligence to connect to that sort of elite system. So, which kind of makes sense, but I want to sort of keep an eye on what's going on, because I feel like there's a lot of plotting stuff going on. And obviously I was connected to, well, this is going to be a bit weird, but I feel like clarity is coming in for the good elites and the good ones, the good warriors. I don't really know what to call them, and who work for the agencies and stuff, because there's so many light warriors within that sort of mainframe anyway. But you wouldn't know, because they can't sort of reveal who they are. Oh God, here we go. I feel like I'm. There we go. It's that in energy. Hello, boo boo. So, but I feel like this is going to be not just clarity for the good side, it's also going to be clarity for the bad side too. Come back to that in a moment. Right, am I going to be tracking this down as IIDR72? I better just intuitive intelligence. Part 72. Right, that's logged. Now, here's what's been going on in my week. Right, 14th of July 2025. I'm never not connected to the higher order, so it doesn't matter if it's early in the morning. It does not matter, 24 hours a day. But it was 9:44 p.m. and I just got this strong urge like to go outside, and I'm always like stargazing because I love the sky, I love it, and I'm just, so I stood outside and I'm just doing what I do every night. I'm like, oh, beautiful sky, And then all of a sudden, obviously I tapped in beyond the veil, and that veil right now is thinning. So if you're tapped in and you're tuned in, just make your intent. If you want to see how the interdimensional war's going, just tap it, just make your intention, see beyond the veil. If you get freaked out easily, don't do it, because it is ferocious. So I was sort of connected and tapped in, and then all of a sudden I looked up, and it's like the stars. I could see what looked like a grid. Now, obviously, I've connected to the different dimension, but I'm looking up and going, "Oh God, what is this?" And it was like a grid system, and it started off just like the points first, and then all of a sudden, I had to run in and grab my piece of paper, like my book, and I'm stood. And I'm literally like, okay, where's this going on? And I can see this literal grid system. I felt like I was in the Matrix again. So the scene, the simulation, but it was like a sort of Matrix grid system in the sky. And I'm like, what in God's name? So I was stood there, not caring if I looked like a moron to anybody around me. I don't really give a shit about that kind of stuff. Not doing what I do. And I felt like I was looking at a star map in the Matrix, because it like the stars were pinpointing, but instead of just sort of seeing stars, it was like lines, and I'm like, why am I seeing weird lines? And by the time I'd finished, that's what I'd seen in the sky. So obviously dated and timed, I'm not the greatest drawer, but I was just sort of following, you know, I was obviously drawing it first, and then I had to sort of just get the marker and sort of see where the lines were. But it was trippy as shit. I've never seen anything like that before properly. Like going into the, you know, tapping in and going into the simulations, one thing, into the sort of like matrix and stuff, but I'm not quite sure if that's connected to the dark matrix. But I felt like there was movement. I felt like when I was looking at going, why am I seeing like, why do I feel like I'm in a grid map, and why do I feel like, because I was completely like zoned out, like into it. And I'm thinking, why do I feel like beyond the stars, beyond our, obviously beyond the veil, but beyond our visual, there was like movement in this grid. It was the weirdest thing. So that's probably going to mean something to somebody or some peoples. And then I saw 0101. I'm like, okay, I'll write that down, because I've been getting so much binary numbers and binary code coming in for months now. So I should have the first binary number book. It'd be like that sort of size, but a report book coming up soon, because I'm going to get that published. I just when I think I'm ready to sort of publish it, more comes in. I'm like, for the love of God. So there's a lot of codes and numbers coming through. That could be there could be code within that too. Like it could be a sort of code. I really don't know. That's just mind blowing. But I'll put that in the report. I'll put a report together for this for Intel if they want it. But do you know what it felt like? I felt like I was looking and doing some like serious, like intuitive reconnaissance going on. Like, what am I seeing here? I don't know if it was a new army. The warriors sort of show me what they were screwing with. And that would make sense, right? That made more sense to me. I felt like the new army, the planting warriors, I mean, they're doing some crazy shit right now on the beyond the veil, on the dimensions. They're causing a lot of chaos, put it that way, but it's necessary, because we can't keep going on like this. Now, it is also, I don't know what the shifting or moving around. Hi, boo boo. But they are, they're definitely doing something, and they're making moves because it's affecting the political structure. It's affecting the minds of people. And when you're talking about the dark elites, the evil ones, what they're doing behind the scenes is causing shifts. So the new army is almost adjusting whatever movement. That's what I felt like. Whatever movements the evil ones are doing, I'm going to call them evil ones. The new army was going in and correcting them. Like, okay, well, no, we're not having that. No. And then it's causing these weird shifts. It's the only way I can best describe how it's looking and feeling. And then I'm going to go back in, and when I reconnect tonight, I'm going to go back in and see what else is coming through. But on the 19th of July, oh God, that's trippy. I was connected. I was in deep meditation, obviously. Once I was connected, I heard communication failure is now happening. Here's why. So I'm like, okay, show me what needs to be seen. And then I was in the sort of weird, like again, in the weird matrix simulation, or within, I was in it. You know, it's hard to explain. But what they were showing me was, I tried doing this video the other night. I had it all uploaded on YouTube and everything. I couldn't believe it. It was ready to rock and roll like 2 days ago. And then the higher order was like, pull it off. Oh my crap. That's because there's more coming in, and they hadn't finished with the downloads. So, but it was still, that video was covering most of this. So hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll bring enough in tonight, then I won't have to rezone in and get more intel. So they were showing me black cubes, and every black cube, where these are situated all over the earth, all over in different parts of the earth, all across the planet. different countries, different, some of them, it's like the black cubes are underground and they are connected to a Stargate portal. So I'm like, what is going on here? But apparently these black cubes, it's energy harvesting. They're designed for, now again, they're gridded across the whole globe. I feel like this is coming in. So I'm probably going to be drawing points. But there are theories about the moon. But again, as a parapsychologist, I do need a bit more proof. I do require evidence for some weird reason. Because we're not seeing, the dark side of the moon. There's probably a lot going on there. Now, there is theories to whether the moon is like a starship or a machine that was built that harvests energy, which would make sense in that way because it would affect the tidal waves, because again, water and we are water, but we're also energy. So that's why the lunar cycles affect us, affect our minds, affect our behaviors, but they also affect the tidal waves too. So again, just keep an open mind, as I'm trying to keep an open mind about this, but it felt like that might be why I was connected to the star grid system. So keep this as a theory when it comes to the moon. But these black cubes felt like they were attached, they were connected to something in the sky and in space. And then, so it's almost like harvesting energy, not just from the Earth's core, but also from us. Because we are energy source. And we are constantly moving our so it's like, it's hard to explain it, but it's like, I felt like I was seeing conductors or, where they were pulling in the energy and then sending it elsewhere. But then and then I was seeing these weird stargates and I'm like, okay, interesting. And they were circling around and they were just like, just pulsating, but in a motion going around. And then what I was seeing, one of the Planting Warriors from the New Army, they were sort of touched the Stargate and it's like they were inserting codes. Now, this is the timeline they were showing me. So they hit a different timeline because they're on a different dimension, remember? So this may not have happened in real time, but the timeline they were on means it's coming, it's going to happen. And it doesn't matter what these people that control these sort of black cubes or the Stargate, what control they've got over even the AI system and technology and everything, they cannot fix what's coming. Because once they inserted the codes, it was like they froze it. They froze a sort of weird Stargate, the portal. So nothing was coming in and nothing was going out. And again, that would make sense because if you think about, if you're draining, where the Stargates or those portals are connected to, you don't know where. So if they're harvesting energy on the planet, they're sending it, they're clearly sending it through these weird Stargates, I'm assuming. But once they open up the Stargates, these sort of portals, they release it. I feel like it's a soul. Like souls. We're exchanging souls. Well, something's coming through. So it's like when there was kind of energy was going through it. And remember, our souls is our energy source. So, but as there was there was weird shit coming through it. I'm like, oh, really? So what the New Army did was they just froze all of them. And so they inserted the codes into these weird sort of Stargate portals, but all of these black cubes, they also they touched these cubes and they inserted codes. And I was saying, well, what's going on? What are you going to do? And I was here, they completely destroyed them. So, and that's why communication failure is now happening. So these communicate externally, non-locally, underground, in space. So whatever these weird stuff is, what these things are, they are connected externally, but they are not. And if they're also connected to the AI, so the technology grid and all that kind of stuff, that's going to fail. I don't know what their intentions are with these dark elites, these evil, twisted architects and complete nut jobs. But whatever their intentions were, what they were planning was pretty insidious, because the new army intervening, they're literally like taking out. Not only are they going to be, they're destroying very important mechanisms and things like this, physical objects. I don't know how old these things are. They're probably like thousands of years old. But all of these weird underground bunkers for the rich billionaire elite, the evil elites, all that kind of stuff. Well, they're getting destroyed. They're just gonna destroy them. They're just, because the new army plants and warriors are powerful. And remember, they're only building structures, and everything that controls these structures is controlled by technology, AI. With Yeshua's Kurds, you can go back to me. What's it? For the people that are at the back of the queue. Yeshua's Kurds, the dark matrix is being infiltrated. That was IIDR72. This is where it's all pretty much started again. This is where it started happening from. And then obviously the update, IIDR69, update to IIDR68. And I'm wondering if that's got something to do with my most recent, with the cluster bombs. I feel like there's something going on with these weird these little magnetic cluster bombs that I was seeing. If that's some sort of backup plan, that's going to get, well, obviously it's being foiled because the intel's out, but the new army are monitoring that situation really closely anyway. So the right agents, maybe we should call them the white hats, but those on that lights on the correct side, the new army, the warriors, they're going to be walking in. They're going to be they're the walk-ins for the, you see, the planting warriors are here on Earth already, planting humans. Their frequency resonates so high that they are capable of holding the new army walk-ins, the warriors. It's just light beings, remember. So they'll tap in, they'll connect to the walk-ins. When they need the correct agents to get the correct information on the ground, they will do a walk-in. So that could have something to do with that. And again, that was when I was seeing that the dark matrix is being infiltrated. I was sort of seeing Yeshua infiltrating Yeshua's Kurds being implemented by the one who was delivering them. So that was trippy, but I feel like it's all still happening. It's all happening. Okay. Now, they're going after what is controlling us, enslaving us, basically. But they're destroying the control mechanisms. What they can use to hurt us and control our minds with. Like, I'm not too concerned about these weird sort of mind weapons right now, because they'll just get, if they're connected to any of this and they're connected to the dark matrix grid and the simulation, they're just going to get destroyed anyway. Okay. Can't you tell I'm connected? Can't you tell they're trying to tap in? So, and then, so on the Stargate, the curves they put into these sort of weird Stargate portals right across the globe, it froze them. And yeah, and then I heard, it was almost like the planting warriors were like being really sarcastic, the new army, because they were like frozen now for 1 million years. I'm like, what now? But I was seeing 1 million And I thought, okay, well, that could be code, could be binary, because I thought, well, okay, so I've done, it could be, let me just, because this was on the 14th, so you got 0101 on the 14th, and then you got like 1 million, so let's just put those numbers in. Okay, yeah, it could be in important binary code coming in, language, that sort of. Now, okay, yeah. So, that'll go in the report. So that's the most updated development with the new army. Boo-boo. It is affecting, all of this is going to be affecting cults and everything. I'm freaking tired, sick and tired of these cults. Sick and tired of it. Sick and tired of talking about them. It's pathetic. But again, when you understand the upper echelon and you understand the architects, they created these cults for a reason. So they can control all of the systems within the giant system, the magnificent matrix system. Now, plenty of videos, so you can just go right back to, hey, boo-boo. Actually, you can, if you want to just start on the playlist from IIDR01 upwards, and then obviously IIDR21, those were the dimensional videos. It's like every dimension in sequential order, there was intel coming through. So it was interesting. And even that last year, those videos are discussing the fall of the cult system, and pretty much everything is actually happening. All the videos, it's weird, all the videos I was sort of putting out last year in 2024, it's all happening, but it's just getting more and more intense, and I'm sort of seeing more because I'm sort of seeing beyond the veil anyway. Hi there. So now I'm just see if my dimensional door is not ready yet. So yeah, I'm going to be hitting the 14th dimension because I want to see what else is coming. I feel like something's coming through. So speaking of cults, and this is again because this is to do with cycles and possible lunar cycles. You're going to see a weird erratic behavior. I mean, if you're not already seeing people right now, be careful when you're out there in society. Those empty vessels, it's crazy, weird. Like, the people are not normal. Some of the weird stuff, I'm not even remotely surprised, but if you look carefully when you're in public right now, you're going to see that you're going to see walk-in and walk-out shifts. You're going to see, yeah, you're going to see like, yeah, demons. People losing it. It's weird. But that's because the new army are dealing with are literally fighting all of the reptilians and the lower dimensional beings. That's what they're fighting. That's exactly what they're doing. So they're removing all of them, all that dense dark energy, evil, nasty energy. Remember, those are attached to people. So that's why they're just losing the mind. They're just losing the mind. They're losing. It's weird. It's you can see it. Like, if you can't see beyond the veil, you will see the effects of the dimensional war in the 3D, because you'll see people just, it's like you'll see, yeah, it's like weird. Instead of seeing a walk-in, you're going to be seeing an extraction. So it's almost like a demon's trying to pop out, or a reptilian, whatever is attached to somebody, or whatever they're hosting. I'll tell you something, I will say this, and I've said it in my other videos. If you've been hosting low-level dense reptilian energy or demonic energy, demon energy, just low-dimensional species, you're not going to survive. You know what? Depending on how long you've been hosting these, like physically in you, having them feed off your life source, your life force, literally. You're probably not going to survive. Your physical vehicle is not going to survive the extraction, because there's a lot of people dropping. There's a lot of people who've been hosting them. There's a high influence, especially in the celebrity world right now. Here we go. Oh, attack. So, but again, this is all to do, this goes right down to, I don't want to talk about witchcraft, I'm sick and tired of it. So, all sort of, you see, you've got the witches and the warlocks, right? And then you've got these creatures that are into the intelligence side, the different way of harvesting energy, manipulating energy, energy attacks. So, but again, it depends on your belief systems and what they've been mind controlled and brainwashed to do. And I don't care, cults are brainwashing. They just, no. That's what cults are. You're not free. You haven't got free mind at all. So, speaking of, let me have a look. Feeling something's coming in. I feel like I'm going to be well beyond the veil tonight. 14 day. It's going to be intense. It's going to be interactive. Like it's like everything's just, I can't explain it. I can't explain what, I'll try and describe it. Oh, hello there. Good God. Oh, okay. I feel like I'm going to be. Flames, fire, with flame, divine flames. Ooh, it's going to be, oh God, it's going to be interesting. Okay, this is protection. Okay, I feel like, okay. It's my guardians, they're bringing in the flame protectors. So, which tells me the lower order, the evil ones, the dark elites, they might try and attack my energy field. It's all energy. It's just connecting to energy frequencies. That's all it's about. So that's what's happening. That's the delay. They're literally putting up the protection barriers right now, but using the flames. Yeah, nothing's getting through those. Divine flame. Are you kidding, right? I'll just let them do what they need to do. Okay. Okay, right. I'll describe more when because I can literally feel the dimensional doors coming. I'll know when it's my cue to go through. Now, this is just a quick shout out to my absolute demonic, and they're about as demonic as it gets, speaking of this kind of crap, haters, slandering, defamers, right? The same creatures been dealing with for a few years now. Gang stalkers, those morons. Now, not interested in what people say about me, not interested in the lies, not interested in the slander. I don't give it any credence or energy. And that is why they're sort of getting really annoyed, because it's been years and they can't get a tiny little ounce of energy out of me. Right? They can't get a reaction. Now, if I give them a reaction, that's me exchanging energy. I don't exchange energy with low vibrational demon. No, thank you. No, twisted little witches and warlocks, wannabes. Little kitchen witches, it's embarrassing. I don't exchange my energy with these people. So, but I feel like here's what happens, cause and effect. It's just constant. It has just been nothing but constant sort of witchcraft for years now. Right? Don't get in. Don't even touch my energy field or anything. But this is what they've been doing relentlessly for about at least 3 years now. It's pathetic. But unfortunately, I don't give it credence. You know, when I feel it tugging on my energy, it's like, no, you can return to sender. You can send that back. It don't belong. You know, that's all you need to do. You don't need to do anything. You don't need revenge. You don't need to do any of that kind of crap. Just calling the guardians and like, have them just protect your energy field with you. They will anyway. But if you feel like you're getting drained, or you're on the wrong people, or you feel like something's tugging on your energy, you could just be getting sort of like, gossip is witchcraft. It's word magic. That's all it is. And it becomes toxic and venomous. So, and when you get a group of people gossiping about one person, as an example, that becomes a spell. So that's going to become an evil eye. That's going to become the energy. And that is going to go where they're spewing the name, they're spewing the person they're hating. That energy is going to go to that person. That's literally what you call a word magic attack. Now you get your shields up, right? All that's going to do is it's just going to bounce back off your energy field, your shield around your energy field. It's going to go right back to the senders. That's all you need. That's why you don't need to worry. But now imagine that for 3 years, over 3 years, right? And the intentions and whatever they're pushing out there, and the slander and the plotting, right? Everything they've been wishing, wanting. Oh God, rituals. That is what they've been putting out for years, right down to even like fucking pathetic sex magic. I'll tell you what's really disgusting, and it's absolutely disgusting. And you probably, and I've spoke about this in one of my videos. I believe I really went into detail in the sex swapping parties, rituals, that kind of weird, these weirdos. And they're not even the cool weirdos like me either. These are the weird, absolute nut jobs. Those ones. So, yeah, soul selling sex parties, right? The people I'm discussing and talking about, they're all in bed with each other, literally. But when you have, they hate me because I practice abstinence. They hate me because I don't have sex. I don't share my sexual energy. Why would I? It's disgusting. Very careful who I share my sexual energy with now. But when you're in these little cults and these groups, that's what they do. The fastest way to transfer, manipulate and harvest energy is through sex. That's why they're all in bed with each other. Now, when you have these sort of people that are putting out rumors about you and lies, basically, don't worry about them. Just let them go. Don't react to them. So they can call me what they want, but I'm not the whore here. They're the whores, literally. And while I've been putting all that disgraceful energy, and even right down to like performing sexual acts with each other, even on themselves, and then the visual of me is to like sex, it's disgusting, right? There's nothing good about someone doing sex magic on you. It's repulsive. And when it comes to your energy field, it's a different energy. You're like, and you're going to see and everything. Like, well, if you tapped in, because it's going to tug my energy just so I can see who it is. And it's like, you disgusting creatures. You're disgusting. You should. Oh God, it's nauseating. So, this is real. These people do this all the time. These kind of people, and they're in your sex cults. Just go to the Illuminati and ask them how many celebrity sex selling swapping party rituals they do on a regular basis. Same thing. It's different cults. Just disgusting human beings, right? But they understand how energy works, and sexual energy is sacred energy. If you don't protect it, and you're just throwing it out there, you're going to get sex demons and everything, attachments. Oof, it's disgusting. So this is what's with these people. They've got attachments. And this is why they think if they keep doing the sex magic and just keep getting in bed with each other and all this weird stuff, it's going to affect me. It's not. It's just gone right back. So again, be careful with the lies that you spread about people, because the most recent visual I was seeing when I was feeling this weird tugging, I'm like, tugging on my energy again. Are you for real right now? It's disgusting. And I know exactly what it is. So I'm looking and I'm tapped in and I'm like remote viewing, like, you gotta be kidding me. Well, unfortunately, now one of them wants my healing, because in that group of people, that little cult that they've created, one has just been diagnosed with HIV. And because they're all sleeping with each other, no condoms, no protection, they all need to be tested for HIV. And to be honest, I would not even be surprised, because if that's the cause and effect sort of karmatic energy that they've created for themselves, that's not even karma at that point. That's just stupidity and ignorance and just not protecting yourselves. You know, whatever lifestyle you have, do what you want, right? Have at it. But if you're sharing your sexual energy so freely, interactively, in group sex sessions and things like that, at least clearly the people around you don't care about your health at all. So if you would have a brain, you would just protect yourself. But no. That's not how these are low level, about as low level and that frequency as it gets. When you're that low level, there's no self-care, there's no self-love, there's no self-responsibility, there's no nothing apart from what you can take and get. And remember, these are all in the same energy signature. So it's about as low as it gets. They're just basically swapping each other's energy and thinking it's going somewhere. You're trying to hit a high vibrational frequency, like, man, it's just going to go, what? But again, people like me, there's a lot of us who function on extremely high vibrational frequencies. Nothing's getting into our energy field. This low level crap, joking, right? So I just urge anybody that deals with this, right? You don't have to be into spirituality, you don't have to be religious or anything like that, but if you feel like you're constantly around certain types of people and you're getting these weird headaches, or you feel like you're drained, and you're probably around energy vampires, and just make your intention, meditate. Just take 10 minutes out a day and like, just quiet the mind, and then make an intention. Make your intention, raise my vibrational frequency. I would highly recommend you get your bare feet on the ground so you can ground yourself, right? And transfer that negative energy that you feel like is in your energy field into the earth, right? Just push it down. Get it out of you. And then just make your intention, raise my vibrational frequency. And then also clear my energy field. You'll call in light force, you'll see light force, and that will cleanse your energy field. And then call in your, like put your flame up there, or you can, depending on what you want to use as an energy shield. There's elements, earth, air, fire, water. You can have light force shield. You can call in your guardians. You can call in the angels, whoever you believe, or whoever you pray to. But ancestors, command your ancestors, circle the shit out of you. Command your ancestors to basically shield you. And whatever else comes after that, just let your ancestors deal with them. They'll probably start haunting them and everything. So energy is energy. And that should be enough to make them quit. But if not, you don't have to do anything. If you feel it's coming in, just return that. This is not my energy. I'm calling back my energy. I'm calling back my energy from however you want to ritualize it. And then anything that's sent to my energy field, return to the senders. That is all you need to say, because that includes everything. So if someone sent you love and light and some healing, all that's going to do is that healing, love and light is just going to go back to that sender tenfold. So that's cool, right? But if it was evil and it was with ill intentions, that's what's going back to those senders tenfold. And then you don't need to do anything. You have every right to return to the senders. That's all you need to do. Don't seek revenge. Don't do the avenging. Don't go low level. And do not, for the love of God, give these people a reaction. Ignore them. Drives them crazy. And as long as you know you and your truth, you don't need to be worrying about what anybody else thinks or says. It's none of your business. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. And then, like I say, when I was seeing them, these particular people getting these HIV diagnoses, like the culprit, the instigator of it all was like, do you think herein will heal us? Not a chance in hell, you creatures. Ciao, ciao. You can call on God. Well, I tell you to call on God, but you don't believe in God. Because your God, the liar, can't heal you, isn't interested in you, freaks. So that's that. I had to get that out tonight. But that's going to be confirmation for them too. Like if you haven't already got your, I feel like one of them has got their test results back. And I'm not sure if this particular person's going to let the others in their group. No. So protect yourself. No, just, it's called accountability and self-responsibility. And guess what? If you have self-responsibility and accountability, you can't get pregnant if you don't want to either. But there you go. So, ooh, I'm just itching my foot on my grounding rock. Oh my God, I've got energy coming in. It's great. Right, okay, let's see if we're ready. But there you go. So, ooh, I'm just itching my foot on my grounding rock. Oh my God, I've got energy coming in. It's great. Right, okay, let's see if we're ready. There we are. Right, my door's almost here. So, yeah, I'm glad I got that out. I've been meaning to get that out for weeks, but as soon as I saw the sort of weird HIV diagnosis, it was like, and I'll tell you why else I need to mention this. All of these lies that people have said about me for the last few years now, absolutely insane, right? First of all, I have receipts for everything. Everything medically, I've been, not that there's anything to do with them, but anything that is said about me and my health, I can contradict every single thing medically, medical evidence, right? Not their mouths, my physical evidence. When it comes to my movements and whereabouts and my alibis, because of these little creatures, I have receipts and evidence. Every single thing these people say about me, they're lies. They have zero receipts to back any of it up. And yet they are so slanderous and so convincing because they are absolutely deranged, right? But remember, when people gossip and slander you, to as many people that will listen, the people that are listening on the receiving end are just as low level. They know it's not true, but they want it to be true because that's how their minds work. If you don't like gossip, you wouldn't enable it. You won't listen to it and go, that's just crap. No, because there's a difference between gossip, which turns toxic, but the moment that edges it right into slander, then you're heading into defamation. None of these people have any physical evidence to back up any ridiculous claims or anything they said about me. And if they ever did, I will 100% be able to contradict everything medically, physically, absolutely. So that's why you don't want, if you're dealing with this, and you're going to be dealt with, you're going to deal with gang stalking. This is what these little creatures do. They have got no lives. They are pathetic. They are pathetic. That's it, right? Feel sorry for them. That's all you want to do. But don't send them love and light because you're giving them energy. Be careful with that. Like, I don't care if you're a nice human being. I'm an empath. I'm a super empath. Very careful about who I give love and light to. I don't think so. No. You don't give it to the unworthy ever. If you want to, have at it. But don't be surprised if they start, once they receive that, they're going to tug on you more for it. But that's just my opinion. So, yeah. Clearly that needed to come out. That's good. I'll always defend my own honour. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I will always defend my own honour from once in a while. But I'm letting my enemies know I've already seen your futures and it is grim. Sucks for you. Now, back to, let me just see my shield. Oh, good Lord, right. Okay. When I'm talking about the fire and flames, right, it is just, it's like, I can't, it's hard to explain. Right now, yeah, I could deal with an energy attack tonight, possibly. because they haven't just put the barriers up, but they've put the fire flames over. Oh, it should be interesting. So, bring it on, because my ancestors will just take you all to the cleaners. These evil creatures. Ooh, which means they could be a very large group. I'm not talking about these little low-level creatures. Not these. If I've got this sort of this protection, right? If this literal protection on the dimensions around me right now is this high, this isn't low vibes. Here we go. And here comes the chopper. The moment I tap into that elite energy, I'm not remotely surprised by that. But so yeah, there could be powerful practitioners. Still can't do anything. Can't attack me in the spirit realm at all. But not sure if you're going to hear that. But one does not give a shit because one's not doing anything wrong. So, well, oof, wow, I'm impressed. I don't know what. My guardians are foreseen, but there is circulars. What is going on with this? What is this circular motion? Okay, I think they're just going to shield me. Well, I don't know. Once I go from a dimensional door. Yeah, nothing's getting in. I'm not too worried. So, here we go. Ooh, my dimensional door is right there now. Okay. I'm just going to leave my guardians to do what they need to do. Right. Okay, let me just set my intentions. Oh, I almost forgot that I got distracted. Okay. I could have Morse code coming in. I don't know. I'm not surprised. It's all very codey anyway. Right, so, okay. Feels like something big is in the works. I'm just watching beyond the veil right now. There is, okay, I'm not going to focus on my hand, but I feel like I've got possible Morse code coming through. I don't want to focus on that. I'll just let my hand do what it needs to do, but I want to focus on what is going on. Things. I keep seeing these weird. It could be a freak. That's got to be energy. It's got to be some sort of like an energy strand. But it's in it. So what is going on here? What is this? It's like an energy strand. And it's just going around and around. It's expanding. Okay. So let me see what you're doing now. I've been fasting for the last 3 days, so there's a hell of a lot coming in. You know, I feel like I need to know what these are. It's one thing to show me them. I need to know what they are. I just can't really describe. I'm trying to think of something in the physical realm that would kind of describe what I'm seeing. The only thing I can come close to is a sparkler. Think of a sparkler like on bonfire night or 4th of July. Like these little. It looks like that when you do the circle motions and then sort of linger for a second or half a second. And you're following the light. It's like that. These are. What is this? Are these? Oh God, there's so many of them. Why do I feel like these energy sound? Obviously, it's energy. I can see that, but why do I feel like they're gonna be infiltrating the grid? Okay. I feel like I'm literally. I'm being pulled. Wow. Wow, that just took so much energy out of me. That was. Okay. my hand feels heavy, like it's got work to do, but I'm in control of it, but I feel like I'm not. It's weird. I want to know what these, I feel like these are penetrating, and they're literally penetrating the grid. That's all I can feel, sense. Oh, good God. I just heard curd coils. Just, oh my God, really? It's so weird. It was just sort of, there was like major noise going on, like real distracted noise outside. It's almost like breaking the concentration. That only works for a second. But then I was looking at the time and I'm like, again, I'm also seeing, and then I suddenly saw like 10 just ones and zeros again. So I've just added them. It's just too much coming in, and it's coming from different angles and directions. I feel like I did before I even started. I just felt like not only there's going to be interferences. What in God's name is that noise? There's just some serious banging outside, and this is a quiet area. Weird. I don't know if you can hear it from the microphone or not, but I feel like it's trying to refocus me, but right. So I hear curd coils. So that could be what these are. Again, I was sort of seeing them like light, weird coiled. Yeah, that's exactly what they look like. They could be penetrating the grid, the dark matrix, the AI machine. I'm wondering if these are connected to the black cubes. Find out. Whoa. Okay, made a double vision then. So I went right back to that feeling of something big is going to. There's something big's been sort of planned. Okay. I thought it was interesting that I was saying whatever's being plotted, it's going to be foiled. This is what these could be. Whatever's being foreseen on a timeline that is going to possibly affect us. The divine, the higher order, the new army, they're pretty much implementing they're not gonna, they're implementing the, I can't even get the word out, so weird. They're gonna file it, and they're implementing the weapons to file it, but it's code, everything just seems to be, it's all very just AI into right down to binary codes, code coils, codes into the Stargate portals. They're just dimensional portals, that's all they are, but just, if you know how to mind travel, you don't need to go you don't need to deal with any of that. No. But they feel they're more to the lower dimensions anyway, so why would you want to pop through them? I mean, you can always go, if you want to mind travel, I mean, would that just take a physical vehicle? Quite possibly, right? It's just time travel. Back and forth, they're just stargates in that way, but the portals. So what was this? I want to know more about what's being plotted. At this point, it's like, what hasn't? Once again, everybody's focused on mainstream media crap. They're just nothing but diversions. So I don't care about that. I want to know what they're trying to divert the collective from. What else are they up to? Okay, escape plans are now in action. Okay, so I feel like the upper elites, the bad ones, the evil ones, there's something big going down. Are about to go down, and they're not gonna they are not going to want to face the consequences. They're literally they've just, hang on a minute, escape plans are now in action. So it's almost like they're about to do runners, they're about to okay. Wow, there's a lot of them. Let me just, it feels like their escape plans, these evil elites, It's like plan A. They've skipped plan A and plan B. They've literally gone to plan C. And that tells me by what I'm feeling and seeing is just scattering, like they are literally trying to escape some sort of justice. Or why am I hearing arrests? If you can't find us, you can't arrest us. What? See about that, won't we? That's exactly, I just felt like that's their energy. So that they've been seen. Higher orders like, yeah, we can. But that's their mentality right now. Lower order. If you can't find us, you can't arrest us. They've got nowhere to go. They can go underground again, go right back to that weird bunkers. So you might want to just halt certain private jets from landing in places like New Zealand. Countries like that. While I'm here in Switzerland. That's simple. Okay. Switzerland. Okay, keep the countries coming out, okay? New Zealand. Norway. So these could be places that they're trying to go to. Escape to. Yeah. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, interesting. Control the chaos in Europe. You can control. He said even the chaos that caused across Europe. Think of it on a grand scale. So much chaos in Europe right now. It's a great way to divert from where these people are trying to escape to in Europe. Follow the chaos. Okay, keep it coming. Follow the chaos and you'll find the people in those particular countries. Okay, I'm not quite sure if this can happen, but I'm hearing you go freeze assets now. Okay, that's why. Wow, we really tapped into these, didn't we? Actually, to be honest, I wouldn't even be surprised because they're trying to tap into my frequency, some of them. It's just allowing me to know what's going on in there. Their minds, their plans. You may need to freeze the assets now because without funds and the means to escape, you can't go anywhere, can you? Freeze their assets in Europe if they've already implemented their escape plan. They're going to need access when they get to those countries. It means they've got assets in those countries. Wow, it's weird. I do hope this is not what this terror attack I was foreseeing. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I'm feeling like this is the diversion, right? IIDR71, right? Watch that video I was discussing in Europe. There was that federal agent, I believe it was an FBI agent, knew a lot, knew what was going on, but I was seeing these magnetic cluster bombs, and they were literally ready to be distributed, and you could move them around so easily, and they're like magnets. It's weird. So I'm wondering if this is their carnage. I said something, feel like something big's about to go down, has happened. There is big movement with certain types of evil people. If you can't freeze their asset, well, I don't know what's going on. Just go with it. Now I'm feeling I went right back to that last video where, is this what they're going to do? Are they going to distribute these little cluster bombs, magnetic cluster bombs, in the countries they're trying to escape to? So they're going to escape there instead of these. So that's going to divert all the attention away from their escapism to look here at the, so it's just like terror attacks. Follow the chaos and you'll find the people. If they happen to set off these little cluster bombs in particular countries in Europe before they actually land in the country or escape to, those are the countries you want to focus on. Because you're naturally just going to think, well, no one's going to go there if there's like terror attacks going on, are they? Yeah. Yeah, you would. I would. If I was an evil, twisted human being and I wanted to escape, the greatest diversion you can do is cause major chaos and then go to the chaos. So nobody's going to think you're going to go there. Got to think like the enemy. Wow, that was... Whoa, that was some confirmation. Well, I have been discussing these traitors for over a year now, so... Follow the chaos and you'll find the people. Escape plans are now in action. If you can't, and I can't believe I heard that, if you can't, that's their energy now. You can't find us, can't arrest us. So this is what's going on in the physical realm. That's something big. I feel like that's what's happening in those terror attacks. It's something to do, and if you haven't found those, again, focus on Serbia. Focus on Serbian communities in this country or in European countries. Just focus on those where they could be made. I'm not saying Serbians or anything like that. I'm just saying there was that connection to Serbia. And now I'm feeling that they're going to blame a particular country to cause a diversion or war. I don't think so. No, if anybody believes that now, they are badly programmed people. I'm clearly going somewhere with it. Okay, keep it coming. I don't care at this point. I just feel like there's the blame game. There's going to be this happening. This chaos is going to happen. The creatures that are trying to escape getting arrested for some weird reason. And you got to freeze the assets now. Just 3 countries are going to try and escape to. Norway, Switzerland, and New Zealand. So that's just some countries. But something about Europe. I would be concerned. I'd be intrigued to know where the footholders, the strongholds are in Europe. And remember, right now, Europe's collapsing. It's like, so focus on those European countries. Because that may be exactly why Belgium. Okay, what is something big is going on in Belgium or about to go down in Belgium? Well, that's just like the root of all evil to Europe, isn't it? Oh God, I'm getting real heavy, like, because I'm sort of connected to an extremely high dimension right now. There's so much going on, there's so much coming in. But I feel like I'm just getting the, you know what it feels like? The hits are coming in, energy hits, and I'm not feeling them. I'm just feeling the tug, like not the tugging either. It's like my guardians are doing what they need to do. But I can feel, had they not been there, I'd be feeling everything. Well, you know, I feel like there's multiple. You know, it's normal. You can't. You can't connect to divine intelligence and not get targeted by the lower order, the dark elites. Remember, it's just an energy. These are energy frequencies. When I connect to the good elites, they're connected to the bad elites. They're all, to be honest, some of those are all in bed with each other too. Everybody's in bed with each other. It's just disgusting. Really? Stay in your own beds. So now I feel like, yeah, we need to watch Belgium. Something might be about to go down in Belgium. Show me what else is going on. Energy. There's a lot of energy around me right now. It's nice. It's benevolent. Higher dimensional. Beautiful. Wow. Do you know what I feel like? I was just really tapped in then and I just felt like the divine energy was pissed. It's like, because it's like there's so much going on and we are no closer as a collective to evolving at all. That's really sad. I just feel like the divine is a bit pissed. Not with me. It's just, good Lord, I would only be worried about the Supreme Divine right now. The only way I'd know the Supreme Divine is pissed with me is if I decided to stop fulfilling my mission. Probably drag me back on it anyway. But that's just a private joke between us. It just feels like there is so much intel coming through from so many chosen ones, and it's just falling on deaf ears. Like the masses are just don't even want to wake up at all. Not all, but my God, the majority, they're just this. That's not going to save you at all. It's weird. Oh, so much energy. Right, so okay, I'm gonna keep an eye on events, weird events taking place in Norway, New Zealand, Switzerland, and Belgium over the coming weeks. I'm obviously I'm on a completely different time. I'm seeing what's ahead, so but this is how far ahead? I don't like to go far ahead more than 3 months if I can help it. If there's something serious going on, I'll go as far as 6 months to a year at the most. But timelines are constantly changing, but there is some serious distractions in mainstream right now. It's ridiculous. I don't watch mainstream news anyway. I'm not quite sure why people keep asking me about stuff that's going on. Going on in the news. And I don't watch the news. It's just weird. But that just tells me, well, you're still watching the news then. How can you wake up if you're watching mainstream media? So no one's waking up when you're watching that crap. You need to be focusing on the independence. So these are, I feel like these are something to do with code coils. They're so weird. They were just strange to see them. There was a lot as well. It's like they're penetrating the grid. Interesting. Wouldn't happen to be that grid, would it? Star map into the matrix. So they felt, okay, code coils, codes coming through. Binary, binary, binary. Portals, Europe. There's a lot going on. I can't even put it all together. It's like I can't even connect them, the dots, because there's so much different things going on. Got people about to go on a run if they're not already on the run, like elite people. Ooh. So you might want to watch their flights and watch their movements right now. This is to the right ones, the good ones. The good agents. Yeah, you might want to watch these movements. I don't know if you can freeze these people. I feel like arrest warrants are about to go out to a very top people. I don't know if you can freeze their assets now or once you've served the warrants, arrested them, basically. Why is that coming through so strong? But I'm not surprised, because these are the types of people that are involved in all of this international chaos. They're all connected. They're all in bed with each other. Seriously. This is why corruption's so rampant worldwide. This is why it's just evil, in it. But they're losing power. Like the lower order, I'll say one thing right now from what's coming through. They are literally losing their minds. Like, not the normal people. I'm talking about these uppers, elites, these architects and the little watchers. Those at the top of the pyramids are collapsing. Those at the top of the absolute 100% losing their minds, and it's affecting everything. It's chaotic. They can't even control their own minds because they lost their minds. Imagine the chaos that's filtering down from the pyramid into the other little crazy matrix systems in the dark matrix, and AI being corrupted by Yeshua's codes and all that beautiful stuff, and the higher orders like in control, but to the point where as they take control, they're losing control. But it's a sacrificial numbers game. We've got to be very careful. Just be careful when you're out there. It's interesting because I was talking to one of my friends just a few weeks ago, because he's from Germany, but he's living in Austria, and I just said to him, do me a favour, be careful when you're out there in Europe right now. I don't know why something's coming. And it was, I'm just trying to figure out if it was, I wonder if it was after that video, IIDR72. Quite possibly. It could have been, yeah, I think because I'd just done that video, that's might be one I said to my friend, just be careful in Europe right now. Especially when you're traveling around and I'm going to say this, and many people are not going to like to hear this, but these recent worldwide floodings, they're not biblical, they're man-made. Follow the chaos. I'm telling you, they are creating phenomenal chaos. They have access to control in these evil weapon systems. I'm telling you, they cause fires, they cause floods, cause tornadoes and everything. Hang on, is it? Or is it a sign? If they're losing control of their systems that they've built. I did say, I've been saying for weeks and weeks and weeks now, actually months, the more power these evil ones in the lower order loses, they are going to go full force with everything. Everything that they've got, every weapon they've got, they're going to utilize it. They're going to do everything because they're going to take out as many as they can, because they're not going to survive. And I did say, even one of my last videos, even if they're hard underground, they are not going to resurface. So they can go and run and hide, but they are not going to come back up. That I felt like the higher orders, they're well and truly in control of that. Like, scatter all you want, you little rats, but that don't mean you come back up. Seriously, volcano eruptions. There's a lot of people are seeing everything as biblical. Understand the system. If you believe in the biblical scenarios that are taking place right now, and this is the end of the days and things like this, the evil creatures that manipulate it. I'm not talking about these new you know. Here we go. It's give me a minute. All text has been manipulated. All past text, tablets, everything. The truth is being hidden from us, but everything we have been programmed and conditioned and we've been taught about the past, it's all been lies. Everything you read is lies. And what you do, what could be true, is being manipulated and altered to a slightly different perception. So it alters your perception. But remember, these architects have always been in control for thousands of years. All of the information and the hidden esoteric teachings and everything. So when we, let's say, for example, we read the Bible and the becoming of the time, the coming days come in, and well, obviously, Yeshua's come. It's an energy, right? When you understand what you're reading, remember, you might be reading what the evil creatures in the lower order had altered. So they're preparing you for their predictive programming and what they're about, what they're going to do in the future, what they've probably done in the past over and over again. The normal earth cycles, obviously, but not always. So I feel like we're dealing with, you want to control climate change, you create the climate chaos first. And then you program the mind to believe the world's out of whack, planet's out of whack, climate, oh my God, climate control, it's all gone. Look at what's happening. Yeah, because they created that. So now they can take your money, raise your taxes. God, wake up. Can't wake people up. And I can't wake people up. It's not my job to. But my God, wake up if you've got any sense of what's going on. If you can just, to you beautiful humans who have already woken up, you please, for the love of God, stay awake. Because that's the only thing that's going to save you from this chaos if it doesn't. You see, no one's coming to save us from our human destructive behaviours at all. No one's coming to save us in that respect. That's up to us to change our behaviour. But you're not going to change your behaviour when the mass majority of the people are fast asleep. How can you change a collective when they had the chance to wake up in 2020 during the Great Test when we all got put under house arrest, right? A lot of people were waking up. And then what happened? Went back to some weird normality because they allowed us out of our little cages, our enslavement pads that you don't even earn. And even when you paid it all off, you still don't earn it. It's mind-blowing. But I'm clearly going somewhere here, so I'll let it keep coming. If you truly believe you earn what you have, you don't. Because just because you paid everything off, doesn't mean you can't lose it like that. They can take it off you tomorrow. And you had to put up a fight to keep it. But if you don't pay those taxes on your properties and your assets, or you don't pay off those payments, they'll take those babies off you. Hell no, you don't earn anything. Joking, right? You earn your right to life. Under natural law, you earn your mind. You earn you. But if you are a prisoner, not prisoner, that's the wrong way. Wow, I went somewhere with that. I don't care if it pops out my mouth and I'm channeling. Something's coming through, so I'll hold on to that. We are slaves. If you are not awake, you are slaves. They've had slaves in the past, slaves in the present, and if we don't change and wake up, we're going to be slaves in the future. Or your kids' kids and kids are. Your children and your children's children are just going to be slaves. And it's going to be an even worse planet if these lower don't get removed from these powerful positions. And you start that by turning off that mainstream crap. But I can't tell you what to do because it's free will. And if you seriously think you're going to be able to hold on to your free will, if you don't wake up, you've got no chance. They'll strip that from you. And if you don't fight against this AI, you're not going to have a future. So, yeah, so we've got more codes coming in, more codes being implemented. It's probably the dark matrix more than anything. Systems, AI systems, all the systems. Got thousands of systems within the giant system. Simulation. I feel like it's I feel like that simulation is well and truly under attack right now, which is why everyone's going crazy. Interesting prisoner. Yeah, prisoners, because I was speaking of as in plural. These people don't want to be prisoners at all. They don't want to be arrested, let alone become prisoners. And then I'm talking about assets again. Can you freeze their assets? Does it even belong to them? Well, to them it does, yeah, obviously. Just, the rules don't apply to us. Their rules are different from ours. It's up to us to hold them to the same standard. But if we don't, they have double standards. But they're not going to worry about us holding us to the same standards when most of us are fast asleep. Because most of us fast asleep don't even know what we're talking about. So, oh. Yeah, New Zealand, Switzerland, Norway, Belgium. I'm feeling a bit concerned about the magnetic cluster bombs. And Europe is such a high prevalent right now. I'm kind of hoping, since I put out IIDR71, the right people got hold of the intel and started looking into certain areas. Certain people that could have already had on their radars. Something big is about to happen in Europe. I can feel it. It's going to be on a large magnitude. It's not going to be like, this is happening, this political shit's happening, this is the breakdown of Europe's happening. It's like there's a lot of stuff happening in Europe, and then there's like a finale. That was weird. France, Germany, Holland, UK. I feel like Europe's going to go on red alert, like high alert level in the coming, possibly in the coming months. I feel like certain European countries have been targeted for the power grabbing. Power grabbing. Euro country target. It feels like, again, I was saying escape plans are now in action, but I was also, it's all starting to feel like whatever they've got planned for Europe as a power grabbing countries, European countries, which are the targets, I feel there's a power struggle, there's a power shift happening, but again, we'll go back to that chaos. And the plan A, plan B, do you know what I feel like? There's like plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, going into action even as we speak. Like they're just sort of setting off everything they planned. They're just going, oh, God, why does it feel like that? Remember symbolism too, just okay, so let me just go with that. High alert, red alert. That was in Europe, but I'm feeling, keep an eye on that in the USA too. A sort of alerts. It feels like lots of plans are about to be activated right across Europe. But it's more specific targeted European countries in an attempt to grab power grabbing. That's what all this feels like. It's about power and control. Now, what is being foreseen for the use of technology, AI, whatever. Wow, my finger won't stop itching. It's just weird, it's random. So, So, okay, we'll just tap back in. Okay, that explains. I said say no more. Okay, don't need to tell me twice. Okay, that explains why I was just completely, I was literally discussing and it just took me right off. It's almost like it stopped me. I was distracted by my finger itching, and then I completely lost my train of thought, just like that. Yeah, say no more. Okay, so yeah, keep an eye on. Obviously, when I'm doing my intuitive intelligence, videos, obviously they're weeks between each other because there's a lot of intel coming in within weeks. So it's information, intel, downloads. It's a lot for the mind to intake, so you can't just do like divine intelligence videos every freaking day. I don't think so. It's a lot of the intel can only come in so much at a time, and then you got to grab it and make sure and then it all comes together. It takes a few weeks for it all, and then you got to hit the time, and you got to do the meditating, you got to connect to the dimensions, and it's hard being a messenger, but I love it. I'm looking forward to when the funding comes in for it though. That would be nice. It's coming because the Parapsychology Institute is going to be happening very soon. The healing retreat. Speaking of the healing, that's interesting. So, let me just quickly go back to Havana, right there, Havana syndrome. 11D. Right. Last year, IIDR79, I was discussing, obviously I'm discussing power weapons and things like this, but I did a video on Havana syndrome and officials and agents getting attacked. Well, mind weapons. So, neurologically, neuroscience, please remember these specialized fields are still in their infancy, right? When it comes to energy, centuries old, centuries, thousands of years old. Everything to do with energy is long before psychiatry and psychology and urology. These are in their infancies still, right? Just use your discernment and your common sense when you're really getting into this sort of stuff. When it comes, and technology, with advancements of technology, well, certain mind weapons and things like this, it's all to control the minds and keep us enslaved. So, again, energy shields. Your energy shields are very important. Coyotes are out. Energy shields, you've got to, because when remember your energy, when you really put those energy shields and protections elements in place, right? Not even mind weapons can, remember the frequencies. You're a frequency, raise your frequency to the highest frequency possible. That's probably another reason why these frequency attacks are not happening anymore, because my frequency is so bloody high. If it doesn't meet that frequency, it's not getting in. If you function at a low vibrational frequency, 5G and everything's getting in. That kind of crap, right? All of those frequency weapons are going to attack. You're going to be affected by it. You raise your fight. There we go. You raise your vibrational frequency to the highest, as high as possible. No, because that's the state of consciousness that cannot be manipulated by weapons or anything, which also helps with the healing modality. And I always test everything on me first. I just, I don't test anything on anybody anyway, because I just don't do that. If I need to test theories, I'll be the guinea pig. So that's where we're at with that. I'm going to close this out here now at 10:53. I kind of knew it was going to be a 10:53. A long one tonight. It's been a few weeks since I've been back in, so. Right. Timestamp everything, especially with this. Especially just in case something huge goes off and happens in Europe. So, don't live in fear. You don't need to fear anything at all. You don't need to fear any of these creatures, these lower level, the lower order. They've lost control. They're losing power. So you don't need to be fearing them right now, do you? You want to fear anything? Just fear the wrath of God. Fear the supreme divine, right? And get right with him, or the energy of supreme divine, depending on what your belief systems are. Just get your houses in order. I've been saying that all year, all last year too. That's important. No regrets. Don't have any regrets. And then, if you're not awake, if you don't want to wake up, have at it, that's fine. Because nobody can force you, and that you're exercising your free will to stay asleep. But that's not going to help you from these evil creatures, depending on how many still remain in power in the future. But don't need to fear anything. I would highly advise people, or I would recommend, not advise, I would recommend people wake up for the sake of their own minds and the children's minds and the children's minds. Things are changing slowly, but it's going to be a slow process. The mega changes are not going to happen overnight at all. The major changes in consciousness, in just in societal conditioning, and no, not at all. That's a behaviour. People have got to change their behaviours. But that's not going to happen anytime soon, because the behaviours people are involved in and are into, they're $1 billion industries. That's all I'm going to say about that. But if you're awake, stay awake. I'm not talking about woke. I'm not into that woke crap. It's nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Good God. That's just derangement, that. Being awake is a completely different ballgame. You don't have to know everything to be awake. You don't have to understand everything to be awake. But when you know something's very wrong and you feel it and everything, it's because it is. And that's good, because you're just having an awakening. And just don't worry about it. You don't need to be panicking. You may go for a few dark nights of the soul and lose a lot of people around you and all that. But you haven't lost anybody. Sometimes you have to learn how to be alone and be okay with that, right? Because there may come a point in the future where we might have to be alone, whether we want to or not, because something big may go down where that's your only option. Prepare yourself for that now. I'm not saying be antisocial or anything like that. Good Lord, no. Just learn to like your own company, just in case you have to be with you, yourself, and that's it for a period of time. And when you do start waking up, you're going to lose everybody around you. So that's why you need to start learning to like your own company, because it won't hurt you or hinder you or affect you when everybody just goes, okay, thanks for that compliment. And they all turn on you, and that's it. Just let them go. You're waking up, they're not. That's all. So, but that's what's, yeah. Any developments, any updates, I will absolutely do an updated video. Now, before we finish off, again, I am not on any social media sites. You cannot, I do not reach out to anybody for anything, right? So if there's somebody impersonating me, claiming to be me, asking you for anything, offering you services, no. No, you're going to get scammed, or you're probably getting catfished. I am not on any dating sites at all. No, you're not going to be able to date me online. That just sounds egotistical, but it's nothing to do with that. I don't know why I feel like I'm going to go on my intuition. I've got a horrible feeling someone's used my photo, some demented creature has used my photo, and I don't know, opened up some weird accounts on dating sites, right? Catfishing. But I'm not going to worry about it at all, because that will rectify itself, because obviously if that's the case, I'm not going to turn up on the date, am I? But now if whoever's doing it is asking for money, well, you'll just leave those to do with a fraud. That's nothing to do with me. So I'm just putting that out there right now. I don't date anyone. I'm not dating. Even if I was, I would not be dating online. I've done that twice in my life. That was enough. Because you try it like everybody does. I have not ever, you will never find me on Tinder, Crap and all that kind. No. You're not going to find me on any dating sites at all. So, but I'm not mentioning that because I'm mentioning that for the reasons of catfishing, possible catfishing and scamming. Social media accounts. No. Only two places only. My professional website, drkarenmikowska.com. The domain butterflycaren.com is mine. It's attached to my professional one. That's it. One YouTube channel, this only YouTube channel at Butterfly Karen. That is it. No secondary YouTube channels. No. So if you're interacting with me or anything like that on a company, right? If you've suddenly come across a YouTube channel, my name and then extra letters or anything like that with my photos and my videos have been added to that, and then the comments are on and you're literally interacting with me, I don't think so. No, not at all. That's not me. So I can do everything I can to protect you guys and girls online, but no, I'm not going to ask you for anything. If you need one of my services, you can only get them through my website only. That is it. Not a secondary website that sounds similar to drkarenmikowska.com, anything weird, or drkarenmikowska.org. No, that's not mine. drkarenmikowska.com is the only professional website. Those are the only places you can book anything to do with me. And then you go for it. There's a procedure. You have to verify who you are and everything. So before you can do a distance service, they are there, but you'll get my invoice. That's the only money that's going to come to me. If for some weird reason people are being scammed and they're giving out money to someone they believe is me, I can't do anything about that because the money is not coming to me. So I can't refund you or anything. And I wouldn't, because you didn't give me your money. You probably give it to some crook, some scammer. Happens all the time on social media and YouTube. So this is why you've got to use your discernment and do your due diligence too. It's easy to get scammed online, but it's also easier to check before you make any payments to use the correct email addresses and go for the proper websites only, right? And check first before you make any payments. Now, the scammers are always going to be there. You can't do anything about them. It's just, and it's unfortunate when people lose money to them. It really is. It's sad, and I hate it. But we can't take responsibility for the actions of other people, and I never would. I'm not going to take responsibility for what other people do. And they can try it in my name. That's nothing to do with me. Can't do anything about that. If you feel like you've been scammed by somebody that's using my intellectual property, my photos and stuff like that, well, if you're here in America, report them to the FBI. Go to their website. There is a place, there is an area you can tap into. Yeah, absolutely. And let them deal with it. And then whoever's in, because remember, there is a digital footprint to everything. There is a chain to everything. So even though someone's using as much information as they can that they know of somebody, the money's not going to go to the person. It's going to go to that person's bank account. Otherwise, why would they do it? If they're scamming you for the money, it's not going to come to us, is it? The bank account isn't going to attach to us. It's going to attach to a completely different person. So just be careful. Especially when you're out there doing, God, just so many Zells and Zelle payments and PayPal payments and all that kind of stuff. It's weird, but it happens. So I can do my best to just let you know what's not and what is, and but that's it. I can't do any more than that for you guys and gals. So that's it. I have multiple playlists on this channel, but one YouTube channel. That's it. I am not in any rush. I'm not in a hurry to open up a social media account. I mean, I got rid of, good Lord, I've never even opened an X account. I got rid of Twitter when it was Twitter, and that was years ago. I think I had a Twitter account for less than a year, and it was absolutely narcissistic, and I got rid of it. So I've never seen so many narcissists on one platform. It was absolutely crazy. So I got rid of that. I got rid of Instagram. The moment that started becoming a porn site, I got rid of that years ago. Facebook, good Lord, got rid of that years ago now. So no, I'm not. I've never had a TikTok account, and I am not in any rush for any of that either. So again, I'm not for the masses, so I don't feel a need to open up anything like that. Not for what I do, because the right people come to me, not the masses, and not for everybody. So just be careful. Just again, if you're not sure and somebody's claiming to offer you a service, claiming they're me, go to my website, drkarenmikowski.com. There is a text service. Show me, let me know what, if you believe you're just verified. Is this, I'm trying to pay for this service. Can you tell me if I'm doing, is this correct? If you haven't booked anything directly from our website, that's an indication that you're going to get scammed. So please don't do that. But if you're not sure, reach out to me directly. Nobody works for me. So nobody's affiliated with me at all. So please be careful, because I don't want you to get scammed, and I don't want you to get catfished either, really. It's just disgusting. But a lot of these people have got nothing better to do with their lives either. And when the intention behind catfishing is, one, to scam people. Two, is to cause serious trouble, to cause crazy drama. That's just not normal behavior. Those people who do that are mentally ill, and they really need to go and see their therapists. But you'd be amazed how many people are out there that are like that. So just be very careful. It's weird, but that's all I can do for you gals and dolls. So any developments, any updates, I will be absolutely putting update videos out there. I always do updated videos anyway, so if you want to catch up with any of my other videos, look out for the updates too. They are out there. But I'm ready to pull out of this energy and go and have a beautiful night's sleep. So let me just close it with the highest order. Okay. Right. So, other than that, I'll see you all again very soon.